Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwartner, and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today, we have the great pleasure of meeting with Andy Miller. He's the CEO of a company called Big Swift Kick. Welcome, Andy.
Thank you, Gerhard. Glad to be here.
You have been a number of years in the sales consulting business. How has the sales profession changed?
It's interesting because it seems like somebody reads a book, writes a book, they read a book, and then they kind of come out with the trend. I remember corporations going from centralized to decentralized, and then years later they go back to centralized. I see the same thing happening in the sales world. We're going to get BDRs and we're going to segment, and then they try that for a while, and then it doesn't work, and then we're going to try something else. I think the thing that's changed is more on the prospecting and marketing side, where you can micro niche everything now. It's so segmented, it's so refined. You can get on LinkedIn, you can do other things. The good is you can be very targeted in who you're going after. The bad is you may not know, where does that group of people hang out, especially if they don't hang out on LinkedIn. How do you find them? Where do you go get them?
We live in the age of specialization. What do you specialize in?
My specialty is really growing sales organizations, but I look at them holistically. So think of me as your primary care physician who you do the office visit, and then I'm going to order some tests, and we're going to look at what the data tells us, and then we're going to work on the things that really need to be worked on to drive that growth that you're looking for. Maybe somebody says, well, I think we need negotiation skills because people are observing the symptom. Okay, maybe negotiation is part of a more holistic training approach. But what if it's not skills? What if it's the salesperson and their relationship to money? They believe they have to discount to win. Or what if it's their sales process? They didn't find the value before negotiation time. Or what if it's the sales manager putting pressure on them to discount because it's end of the quarter and the manager's a little behind on their quota? I've got to look at the whole thing. I've got to look at, do they have the grit to do what they need to do? Do they have the belief systems? Do they have the skills? Is the process there? Whole lot of things to look at. But the difference is I take a holistic approach, and I'm willing to put skin in the game because I'm willing to be paid commission on the upside. And I just don't know anybody who's willing to put their money where their mouth is.
So let's assume that I'm a mid-sized company and we've reached a certain level of success, and we want to break through to and go beyond $100 million in revenue, let's say.
Okay.
Let's say I have 50 salespeople to create that revenue.
Okay.
What will be your advice?
Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to evaluate the sales organization to look at, again, their grit, their beliefs, their skills, sales management capabilities, and just kind of look at, is there room for growth there? Also, I'm going to take a look at strategy. Does your strategy work? Can you keep your strategy, and do you need to augment, or do you need to replace it? Also, we'll look at your offerings. Can you bundle something? I mean, I'll give you an example. This was an accounting package. The company wanted to grow. It was kind of kooky because the job description was wrong. They were hiring the wrong people. 5 years ago, they were hiring customer service people, and they wanted the customer service people to now be salespeople. Then they also said, oh, the other thing is we can't spend any money on training. So we're hiring the wrong people, and we're not willing to train them on sales training. So what do we do, right? So we evaluated, took a look at what was going on, and said, you know what? There's a gap in the market that you guys are missing. And we have a research librarian that we have her go out and research certain things that we're looking for. And so she went out and researched and came back and said, your target audience has a big problem here. It had to do with fraud. And we said, why don't you package fraud insurance in with your offering? And they were then able to charge a premium. Their sales went from 6% upsell to 75% upsell.
So what you're saying is you look at the mindset, the skill set, the tool set, the strategy, and the market opportunity.
Then we come up with something that makes sense for everybody based upon the parameters that we have to deal with.
You want to find the right perspective on the challenge that people are facing, and that's not an easy thing to do.
No, it's putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
Yeah.
And the thing that I've always enjoyed myself is the messier, the better.
Because there's opportunity in chaos.
Absolutely, there is.
How can people find you online?
They can go to bigswiftkick.com. They will see our website, or they can email me at amiller@bigswiftkick.com. We can talk and have some fun.
And